have something really cool planned for this video today, and I hope you really enjoy it. I am about to take you through 4 different meals that I made cooking one batch of roasted chicken. And I just want to show you how quickly you can put together fabulous meals at home and save a ton of money doing so at the same time. So come along as I show you what I like to do to stretch my meals out in the best way possible.
This week's focus is chicken, and I picked skin on boneless thighs because the skin is delicious and they are less expensive than some other cuts. But this is totally up to you, so feel free to make it your own. My chicken was purchased at Sam's Club for $6.19 for the entire pack of 10 chicken thighs. Meal number 1 is our pesto sheet pan chicken with roasted potatoes and onions. My kids absolutely love this meal and always cannot wait to get it on their plate. So this is a family favorite at our house, hands down. To make this meal, I grabbed a couple handfuls of Yukon Gold potatoes and 1 large onion. I chopped them up, placing them in a bowl to season with salt and pepper as well as olive oil before tossing them on my baking stone, but any sheet pan will work. Next, I put the chicken in the bowl and dumped in my pesto. Typically, I use my own, but it wasn't thawed out, so I used store-bought. Again, add salt and pepper, and then nestle all 10 thighs in with the potatoes and onions, placing them in the oven, which was preheated to 425 degrees, baking them for 45 minutes. Take them out, check the internal temperature to make sure they have reached 165 degrees, and that's it. Night 1 dinner is complete. Make sure to put away your leftovers so you're ready to go again tomorrow. The following night, we opted for fried rice because we had some leftover rice in the fridge. This is one of my favorite fast meal preps. Anytime I make rice, I do a double batch so that I can make sure to have some cold in the fridge. While you can make fried rice from warm or hot rice, it's not the same texture unless you start with it cold. Okay, so back to the chicken. I chunked it up by cutting it off the bone into bite-sized chunks. If you're worried about the pesto, you can take off the skin, but it really doesn't make any difference, so I've never taken the time to do it. Now, over on the stove, I'm heating up my cast iron skillet with some sesame oil. If you don't have sesame, go ahead and substitute olive, but another oil of your choice would work also. Crack 2 to 3 eggs into the pan, add some salt and pepper, and then I went to the freezer for some frozen vegetables. I have carrots, peas, and onions. Chop up the egg and stir in the veggies and give it a few minutes before adding in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Here, I'm substituting soy for Bragg's liquid aminos because one of my kiddos struggles with some gluten issues. Next, toss in some minced garlic. I'm using approximately 3 cups of rice here, but I just used whatever I had on hand. We prefer a bit of crispiness to the rice, so I smooth it out and give it about 2 minutes before stirring and then repeat this process several times. Then taste to adjust and see if you need more soy, or feel free to add a splash of teriyaki if that's a flavor that you enjoy. Plate up and serve it with some crunchy noodles and some yum yum sauce as well as soy or whatever flavors work right for your family. If you don't have a cast iron pan large enough to do all of this at once, definitely feel free to divide it up into a couple pans so you can take care of it all at one time. Now, turning the corner into meal 3, I'm throwing together a quick chicken salad sandwich before my kids head out on an adventure with their dad, which can get quite interesting as evidenced by the video they brought me home where they chased an armadillo. And if you haven't seen it, check it out because it's worth your time. So back to the chicken salad. First things first, I used the chunked up chicken that I had left from yesterday, 3 stalks of diced celery, a half cup of chopped onion, 3/4 cup of mayo, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and some sunflower seeds before adjusting salt and pepper as well as stirring it up. Now, we had English muffins for breakfast this morning, and I had some left over on the stove. Some chose those to use as their bread, while others went for a traditional sandwich on regular wheat bread. We chose to pair this with a side salad, but sometimes I will opt for a homemade potato salad out of our home canned potatoes, chips, or whatever you have available. Alternatively, serve it with crackers or directly on top of a salad. Now, bonus tip here, when I was prepping everything for this chicken salad, I went ahead and chopped up the entire onion and the rest of the celery that I had laying around, throwing them in freezer bags so I can put them in and have already prepped for future meals. And that's it for the chicken salad sandwich. The fourth reiteration of the chicken is going to come in the form of a barbecue chicken pizza. You can find all the directions for this sourdough crust in a video that I will link at the end. But all I did was toss on some barbecue sauce, cold chicken, onions that I prepped earlier, some feta and mozzarella cheese, then added in some of my dehydrated tomatoes from my own garden this summer. The sky is really the limit as far as toppings, and my favorite version of this is actually chicken pesto pizza, but I wanted to change it up a little bit since this entire set of meals already included pesto. So popping this crust in 10 minutes in the oven, then 3 more minutes after the toppings have been added, and we have completed our 4 meals with 1 protein, and nobody is complaining about eating the leftovers. After doing the math, all 4 meals, excluding pantry items like salt, pepper, olive oil, and then of course mustard, barbecue sauce, and mayo, come to a grand total of $17.62 to feed my family of 7 for very different meals. And that comes out to 62 cents per person per meal, which is now making me look really, really hard anytime we want to go eat anywhere else. I call this a budget win, and the food was fabulous.
I hope you all enjoyed taking a look at how we took the chicken and made it into 4 very different meals. If this kind of content is something that is really interesting to you, make sure to drop a comment below and let me know, and also let me know what protein you'd like to see me do next. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in the kitchen.